by the staff to have you guys kind of do a little bit of a circle around here before we get started. Okay, good morning. My name is Tim Flynn. I'm the mayor of the city of Oxnard, and it's a very beautiful day, and we're here at the site of the former Kmart, and I think it was a very appropriate site to pick because at one point here in the city of Oxnard, this was a bustling corner of families that would come here and they would start their holiday shopping here, and they would start right before school. They would come here to buy clothes, and now, of course, it's closed, and we want to transform centers like these into prosperous job centers, and that's why we're here this morning. I have the privilege of introducing Assemblyman Jeff Gorell, who, as many of you know, the reason why we're here is that last week Assemblyman Gorell introduced legislation that would create an enterprise zone for the cities of Port Hueneme and Oxnard, as well as the Port of Hueneme, the Oxnard Harbor District. And what would these enterprise zones do? Assemblyman Gorell will talk more about that, but they're going to provide companies in particular tax incentives to open and do business here. And one of the things that I've been working with Assemblyman Gorell on is the idea of new economy jobs, and in particular jobs in high-tech, biotech, and medical research, which tend to be much higher paying jobs. But right now the city of Oxnard embraces any effort that will promote job growth of any kind, not just new economy jobs, but in all areas. And I might also want to add that, now today with the day of the inauguration, as well as Martin Luther King holiday, it really is a time of renewal where we rethink our goals and objectives for the following year. We renew ourselves. We're very thankful for people like Assemblyman Gorell, who was just recently deployed in Afghanistan, and people that are sacrificing their lives for us on a daily basis. But in this context of renewal, we're here, and we hope that this shuttered store becomes a new hub for jobs. We hope that all across this city, all across this region, that Assemblyman Gorell's efforts are going to lead to lasting prosperity and new job growth. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring up Assemblyman Jeff Gorell, and he's going to tell you more about his plan. Let's give him a round of applause.
Mayor. When the mayor was elected, he said winds of change were going to be blowing. I didn't realize we'd have to hold on to the signs. This is strong. This is a strong wind. But thank you very much for everyone for coming out today, carving out a little time on Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And this idea, this concept really came to my office from your community leadership, your public servants in Oxnard, the city of Oxnard, city of Port Hueneme, and then the Oxnard Harbor District, the Port of Hueneme, getting together to serve the community and try to do what's best to help create jobs, to bring businesses back to this region, to try to get a spark of growth in new entrepreneurial efforts in some of the parts of the community that have been challenged over the years, and that's the reason why we're here today. So the leadership of these three entities, the two cities and the port, came to me, and they shared their vision of trying to create jobs in this area, trying to lure businesses to this area. And there's two ways to create an enterprise zone in the state of California. The first way is administratively, through the executive branch, applying to the governor's office. The governor already has at his discretion 42 enterprise zones that he can, at the discretion of the administration, fill. Well, all of those except for two are currently filled. So there's an opportunity there to work with the governor's office to apply to the executive branch to have this region, this geographic region is illustrated here on this chart, identified as a California enterprise zone. Now, the other way that an enterprise zone can be created is through new legislation. And that's what we've done. On Friday, I submitted a bill, Assembly Bill 146. Assembly Bill 146 has the basic framework language in it to create these lines right here and the benefits that derive from the creation of an enterprise zone. Now, what is an enterprise zone? Well, it's administered locally among the local agencies and the businesses. And many of them are gathered here today to join us. and they promote local economic activity. According to the California Association on Enterprise Zones, in 2010, Enterprise Zones created or attained more than 118,000 California jobs, and that's what we need right now more than anything. A wise man once said the quality of life begins with a job. You can have phenomenal schools and great communities, you can have beautiful beaches, and you can have wonderful health care, but if you don't have a job and your neighbor doesn't have a job and your community doesn't have enough jobs, that is the threshold that begins a quality of life. And you need to have those jobs to have the prosperity and the robust community that we all desire to have here. But specifically, the enterprise zones will bring those jobs by offering firms a hiring credit. Firms can earn up to $37,440 more in state tax credits for each qualified employee that they hire. They can write up to 100% net operating loss, and they can carry that forward. They can also earn a sales tax credit on purchases up to $20 million per year of qualified machinery and machinery parts that they need to manufacture the widgets, the manufacture of the products that would be creating the jobs here locally. There's a number of other things that enterprise zones do, but collectively they're interwoven policy statements that allow this community, these giant jobs that it wants, to move forward and become one of the most prosperous parts of California, and help California become the first state to come out of the recession and not the last state to come out of the recession. I'm delighted to be a partner in that effort, to join with the cities and the port, to try to work diligently on making this an enterprise zone, but on creating prosperity in this part of our community. At this time, I'm going to introduce somebody who has been a leader, not only in our community, but in the effort to try to grow jobs, and that is Councilwoman Sylvia Munoz-Schnapp. Please come on up, Sylvia.
Thank you, Assemblyman Burrell. I'm joined here by a couple of my City Council colleagues who understand the value of the enterprise zones. And thank you. Our collaborative effort in identifying and establishing an enterprise zone assists our cities with an economic development strategy during these times of great change. You know, the city of Port Hueneme is home to one of the largest employers in Ventura County, and we know that the enterprise zone has potential to bring synergistic values to our region. And we applaud Assemblyman Burrell convening these local jurisdictions in order to move forward on this legislation. So we're really excited about what the enterprise zones bring, the benefits, as well as coming to the city of Port Hueneme. At this time, let me introduce Harbor Commissioner Mary Ann Rooney for her comments.
Thank you so much. I do want to acknowledge my fellow Commissioner Jess Herrera, who's with us here today. And on behalf of the entire Board of Harbor Commissioners, the Port of Hueneme looks forward to fostering business development opportunities within the cities of Oxnard and Port Hueneme. We thank you, Assemblymember Gorell, for your support and for sponsoring legislation that promises to bring prosperity to our region. A regional and collaborative approach strengthens our ability to realize opportunities to attract new businesses and create new jobs. The formation of an enterprise zone for the port and the cities of Oxnard and Port Hueneme is precisely the type of opportunity, and we look forward to exploring how we can make that happen and put it to work. In our region, the port's activities generate $1 billion in economic impact, puts over 5,600 people to work, impacts over 9,400 jobs, and moves $6.4 billion in cargo. We are a very real partner, and we're very much a friend to this enterprise initiative. At this point, I'd like to bring Assemblymember Gorell back up for his comment. Thank you.
I guess at this point, I'll just open it up to any questions that you may have. The first thing I do want to add is that there's a lot of conversation in Sacramento, in the state capital, about enterprise zones. It's a point of conversation in the governor's office as well as in the legislature. what to do with enterprise zones. You may know that last year the governor proposed eliminating them, as well as the redevelopment zones, redevelopment agencies that had already been eliminated in one of the past budget processes. It is our hope, as we not only move forward this legislation, but it's our hope that we can work with the governor to not eliminate enterprise zones, but to reform them. And I think we've got some strong support there, some bipartisan support in the state capitol for reforming enterprise zones and making them more consistent with the original vision to bring new jobs to communities rather than inspiring any kind of competition between communities. And so we're going to work on those reforms, and I think that it is my hope and belief that at the end of this legislative session, enterprise zones will be intact, they will be modified, but they will again be commissioned to try to create the jobs that we need in California, again, to be the first state out of the recession, not the last. So I just wanted to talk to that a little bit because it is one of the ongoing conversations in Sacramento. Anybody have any other questions or thoughts? Yes, sir.
Any particular reason why you chose this location for this press conference?
Well, I will let the leadership from the cities and the port speak to that because they actually helped us draw the lines and develop the geographic locations for the enterprise zone. Anyone from the city want to speak to that?
Thank you, Manuel. That's a good question. We chose this as an example of what to do with an area that looks like it needs some help. And certainly this is an area that was really very, very vital. When I was a child growing up in this area, you know, people would come here to the Kmart Center. The rest of these windows here and doors had other establishments here, from a pizza place to, you know, it was just very, very vibrant. And it's gone through a real big change, and certainly it's something that to us looking from the outside in looks like it needs some help, and the enterprise zones will help areas like this in order to create jobs and really bring back some vitality to centers that are in disrepair.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
What can like the local chambers or stuff do to help you keep this passed?
Yeah, absolutely. As you can tell, the logo, the local chambers is up here. It's an integral partner in an enterprise zone, in any enterprise zone. Local chamber and chamber leadership really are the eyes and ears of the community to be able to reach out and attract new businesses to the community, to attract entrepreneurs and attract large companies, because this is a tool for chambers and city leadership to work together to incentivize job growth. So those relationships, those communications, and those economic development plans and business plans, working in conjunction with the city and EDCO and the city general plan, all of that together is really your marching orders to be able to try to go out there and use these new tools to attract the businesses you would like to have in your community. Any other questions? What I would suggest at this point, since we have some leaders here like Supervisor John Zaragoza, the mayor's still here, city council members, the leadership of the port, I would just ask that maybe you stick around a little while so that the media, any of the participants might be able to ask questions and to interview you for any of the media stories. So thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate you being here on this Wednesday Martin Luther King Day. And this is the first step in a long process. So just fasten your seatbelts and track along with us. We intend to get this done. We intend to see an enterprise zone right here, where I stand, a year from today. Thank you very much. Before everyone leaves, can we try to get a photo op and have all of the attendees, participants, everybody come on up. This is a community announcement. So everyone in the community, please come up and let's set the stage for a photograph here.
You guys do.
ahead and please stand up. I meant come up. I meant come on up.
Hey, whoa.
You're talking to Bill Barrato, right?
If the photographers should just let us know if you have everybody in the frame, please come on up. Everybody from all the leadership.
Let's make sure it's blocking.
Please join us. Don't be shy. We want everybody in a photograph up here. You weren't so wide. I'm sorry. I'm going to have a George Hamilton tan after this photograph. Martin, come on up. Bring your purse. Ed, come on up, please.
In the very back, if you step. In the glasses, just a little bit that way. In the back row. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Perfect.
Look over your shoulder.
You Photoshop like 25 pounds off.
Yes. All right, everybody on Brian McDonald's bike. Let's see how many we get on there.